Hey y'all, Chef IrixGuy here from the Appalachian Ocean, and within this video I want to explain step by step how to marinate the perfect ribeye steak and then how to grill the perfect ribeye steak. Now if you've shopped for steaks recently, you know that ribeye steaks are extremely expensive, so it's super important to get things right. And that's not just the grilling, it's the marination process. So the first thing I do, and you can mix it up however you want to. I keep it simple. I get store brand soy sauce, store brand Worcestershire, some garlic powder. If you got fresh garlic and want to chop it up, that's even better. And then some freshly ground pepper. Don't use that stuff in the can. You need to use a proper freshly ground pepper, and sea salt. Notice I said sea salt and not table salt. So that's a basic marinade. You know, put it on there. Put the wet on first, the Worcestershire and the soy sauce, and then put the rest. And then tightly cover it, put it in your refrigerator. Some people say, oh, I'll just let it marinate for a few hours. That's fine. Ideally, if you're planning ahead, if you want to let it marinate in your refrigerator overnight, that marinade will even further penetrate the already delicious meat. So that's completely up to you. And that's the marination process. Now we're going to hop over to the grill, and I'm going to show you some of the basics that you should probably do when you grill a steak, when you grill a ribeye steak. And by the way, you can expand this video's description and click the link there to find everything that I use. The first thing you want to do is get your coals good and hot, because if you're using what I use, and I highly recommend it, again, expand this video's description and then click the links there to find the grill and the cast iron center insert that I'm using, because when we throw those ribeyes on this sucker here in a few minutes, you're going to see how that searing grate just locks in. You know, the marination process is so important, but that searing grate locks in those flavors. And it gives it a very cool visual look, professional sear marks. So the cast iron searing grate in the middle is good and hot. And again, expand this video's description and click the link there. This is definitely not required for grilling a very good ribeye, but listen to this sizzle when I put this ribeye on. And as I mentioned, it's super important to have those searing grates hot before you put your ribeyes on, because that sear, that quick heat, is going to lock in the juices and the flavor. And then I've got a little bit of marinade left in here. I'm going to just drizzle that on there. Now, depending upon the degree of doneness, that dictates how soon you'll flip these. But if somebody wants a steak more on the rare side, you still want to get a sear on the outside for the cosmetics. But both of these steaks, as funny as it sounds, these are going to be more towards the medium well to well. So I'm going to let it sit there for a minute before the first flip, and then that's when you're really going to see the sear marks. Again, it locks in the flavors, but it also provides a value add from a visual perspective. And you're about to see with the first flip right here, the sear marks. Look at that. You can see the pattern. This is kind of that pattern. And I like, you know, not just from a visual perspective, but I mean, now I know the flavors are locked in. And man, these are going to be so good. So basically what you're going to do now, you'll flip them periodically. If you're new to grilling, you probably want to use a meat thermometer, and you can expand this video's description and click the link there to find a variety of meat thermometers. But once you've grilled for a while, you'll start to learn by touch the degree of doneness. Now, like I said, these are going to be, I'm going to get these more towards the medium well done. closer to the well done range. But depending upon who you're cooking for, you may want it more on the rare side. But regardless, you need to do that sear. So make sure these cast iron grates are hot, you know, and that's from the charcoal underneath. And if you want to throw some hickory and stuff in there, apple wood, whatever, go for it. I mean, do whatever you want to do. But I mean, just like this with just charcoal, I mean, this is going to be phenomenal. But continue to flip periodically until you've achieved your desired degree of doneness. And something else I like to do after I've completed the initial sear is close my lid, and then that'll, and you know, here's a cool little trick to your spatula. Put it underneath your lid, and then that way it cooks off the raw, you know, the raw meat that it touched. I open this about halfway on my grill, and again, expand this video's description and click the link there to find the grill and all the accessories like I use. But this just gives it a good smoke. I mean, this is not a slow smoke, this is grilling a steak. But if you added hickory, apple wood, or just charcoal by itself, having this closed really helps to further penetrate that steak with wonderful flavor. Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.